So this is kind of my first video, kind of doing like a little walk around. Never really done anything like this, but I got all the time in the world right now to do whatever. Guess I'll explain later, but this is kind of just a little walk around video showing my rock crawler. So this is a 1985 Toyota 4runner body on a Toyota 1988 frame that I had built. It used to have a pickup body on it, and completely destroyed that one. It used to be super mint, but this body was just something that I got for kind of cheap, and really just threw it together for a ride. We did a little Walmart rattle can, bobbed the bed. Never chopped the top just because, I don't know, too lazy. And I don't know, I'm thinking about selling that because I don't really want to chop it, because I think we're going to be doing a little makeover to this thing, actually make it pretty nice. So I think I'm going to sell that. Not really sure what they go for, really, but that'll be up for sale soon. But this truck right here, I did a 3.4 swap V6 to it about 2 years ago. Still running, been beating it, still haven't managed to kill it, so I guess that's good. Like I said, this thing is just thrown together. I mean, you got stuff like this. This winch doesn't even work. I literally threw it in, but it never got wired in. I did this little quick fix to have some lights for a ride. Never did that. Zip ties, of course. Yeah. But we're gonna be getting more into this, trying to make it more nicer. Because I'd like to get it more, what's the word? I don't know. Better. Just better overall. But gee, motor's still fantastic. Definitely plenty of power to pull these 40s. I'm gonna shut her off real quick. Oh yeah, the inside's terrible right now. Seats, bolts came out. You might have seen one of my clips. I was going up a stone wall, just giving it the beans and doing all that jumping around the truck, kind of tore the bolts out. Very janky wiring that I did, and they actually melted. It was a little temporary fix to get some headlights and blinker lights to drive it down the road real quick. That didn't work. So we're going to be taking all that out. Back seat doesn't really fit. That was just kind of thrown in. Trail sodas and stuff. It's got a little bit of rust, but it's not bad. So, and for drivetrain, we got a Toyota 4-cylinder dual transfer case with the 3.0 adapter to mate to the V6, Marlin Crawler short shifter, twin stick. This might be getting changed. I'm not really liking this. My brother had actually did a DIY twin stick, and I love his a lot more better. None of this slop right here. His just feels solid, so we're probably going to be doing that. So a little more about the drivetrain and stuff. Like I said, we're on 40-inch tires. Toyota front axle out of a 79. Switched to the high steer and did RCB front axles, which is greatest thing. If you ever think about planning to do a rock crawler, just go ahead and do RCVs, get it over with. I ran chromalies, but I've always just seemed to break them. So I stepped up to the RCVs, and I've had no problems running these 40s with them. And when you buy the RCVs, it's lifetime warranty, so that's a plus. Trail gear, belly pan for the dual case, custom front drive shaft, custom rear drive shaft. They're not balanced for anything, but they work great on the trail. Stock rear Toyota axle. Really, if you ever into rock crawling and you kind of have a setup like this, really there's no need to switch out the stock axles, because I mean, I don't know, the rear tends to not see so much stress like the front does. I mean, I haven't broke this thing, and by no means have I treated this thing nicely. Some old rough country shocks that I traded my buddy for. You actually seen in some of the clips and a new video that I just posted. ZukaCon, those came off of his. We're also going to be seeing more of that. I'm going to try getting him to let me film some more, because I'm sure that's probably piqued everybody's interest. For leaf springs, typically people run Chevy 63 leafs. I wanted to kind of go a different route. Actually, it's funny that I say that. At first, I had bought a pair of leaf springs thinking they were off of a Ford. Originally, what I got for these, but they ended up being Chevy 63s. And at the time, I was stupid. I never measured it. Long story. I was dumb. But I bought these. These are actually my fourth pair because I keep wrapping leaves. These are 1996 Ford F250, Ford F100 leaf springs. These are 58 inches long, a little bit shorter, but honestly, they flex just as good. And the thing I like about these is the departure angle is far less. I don't know, I just prefer running these, but the only problem to this is you can't really find these everywhere like the 63s. So I've normally just ordered them online, which is not the best price, but hopefully sometime in the future I'll do an anti-rat bar. But I've seemed to put it off for about 3 years now, but maybe one day. I did a 8-gallon fuel cell. Reason why, I had a stock tank on the bottom, and I seem to always manage to smash rocks on it, so went ahead and just did the fuel cell to get that over with. I can run it all day, and by the end of the day I'll have to fill up. It's one of my last trips. I actually ran a trail, and we were going up this one trail and went all the way through it, got to the top, shut off the truck, and went to start back up, and it wasn't starting, and it was out of fuel. So we were running on fumes for a while. And that's that. Taillights are mint. Yeah, these are stock OEMs. That's a joke, obviously. But yeah, I'm really new to this kind of stuff. I feel really cringy about doing these kind of videos, but like I said, I got a lot of time on my hand right now, so it's kind of resulting to do this finally. Oh, something that I also forgot to mention, for the hubs up here, I'm actually running IFS hubs off my old 88. For that, kind of extends your width on the front, makes it easier for maintenance too. Also with 2.5-inch spacers. push that out. One of the biggest things that I need to do is what I want to do. First off, get the truck all cleaned up, get it back to how I want it, I guess you could say. We're gonna be doing something with this. Like I said, I'm gonna be getting rid of that top because I'm not gonna have any use for it anymore. And we are going to chop the bed, and not really sure where I'm gonna chop it yet. Maybe somewhere about like right here. And I'm also gonna be using this part that I notched out for the bob bed and moving this forward. And we're gonna be doing kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, I don't know. It's gonna be like a little funky setup, but it's gonna be tubed in the rear. And then for the tailgate, once it's moved up, I still have my old tailgate from my old 88 sitting over here. And I'd like to put that on it because honestly, that was my favorite truck. I learned everything on it, so I'd like to kind of keep a piece of that with it. Sitting over there. So that's the plan. And after we do all that, a biggest thing, I'm not really sure why, but when I did this body swap, for some reason, I'm not really sure, this body sits a lot higher than my old 88. Not really sure why, and it kind of sits a lot higher than I want it to be. It seems a lot more sketchier when out rock crawling. So I want to try to get this thing a lot lower. And a big issue with the independent frames is you don't have a lot of room for up travel. If you can see here, you know, you got your heist over here. That's about all I have. And when I lower this, I'm gonna be re-drilling this, kind of lower it just a little bit and bring the front axle forward. And we're gonna be re-drilling the shackles back here to lower it. And wherever that gets me, however close it gets me, we're gonna go from there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to chop the frame right there and do some square tubing or something like that, but I'm just gonna force myself to go ahead and lower it so I can force myself to go ahead and go through with it. And for the rear, we're gonna take some leaves out and probably mess with the shackle back here. I'm not really sure, because I'm already at a pretty steep shackle angle, so I'm not sure if going any lower is gonna, I don't know if it's gonna want to reverse going up, but I'm not completely sure. But we're just gonna mess with that anyways, just to see how low we can get it. Something that I kind of forgot to explain with transfer cases. So the dual transfer case, my front transfer case is stock 2.28 gears, and the rear transfer case is 4/7-to-1 gear set inside, and actually has a RCV main shaft in this case. A while back ago on my old pickup, I somehow managed to snap the main shaft. The person that I bought the transfer case from, they had put the they had managed to put the spindle on backwards, and it forced it at a crooked angle, and I guess that weakened it. And I was on a hill. I had already broke a chromoly, but I was just wheeling it anyways, trying to goose it up a hill, and ended up snapping it. So, and when I went to order one, I was ordering a stock main shaft, and they actually ended up sending me an RCV shaft. So I'm not going to question it, just roll with it. But yeah, that's that. Just kind of show you guys, this is the main shaft that I had snapped. Yeah, kind of snapped clean off. But like I said, this is this is my first time ever kind of doing this. Really just, like I said, I got all the time in the world right now. Unfortunately, not the way I'd like to have all the time in the world, but shit happens. Hopefully it's not forever, because it really sucks. And I'm not going to talk about it because I don't like talking about it. It only gets me mad. But this is going to be kind of therapeutic for me to work on this, so that's what I'm going to do and keep my mind off things. But that's pretty much it for this one. Definitely kind of enjoying this. I don't know, it's kind of I don't know, in a way kind of therapeutic. Feels good to just talk and explain things. I don't know, but that's it for this one. And subscribe. Hopefully you guys want to see more. Definitely going to be trying to do a lot more, but that's it for this one.